Alrighty, so we're now on to 4.2, which is adding and subtracting polynomials. So we're going to do some definitions first. A monomial. What's a monomial? A monomial is an expression that is a number, variable, or the product of a number and variable or variables. Okay, so monomial is the expression that's a number, a variable, or the product of a number of variables. Okay, product means multiplication, so that means multiplication. So some of them are some examples. We could have 5 because it's a number. We could have y because it's a variable, or we could have 16xy because it is the product of a number and variables. Okay. Now, a constant monomial, or a constant, you'll typically hear it as a constant, but it's a constant monomial, is a number without any variables. For example, 5, 16, 21, any of those. Again, it's still a monomial because it's a number, but it's a constant because it's not, it doesn't include a variable. Alrighty, now we have a binomial. So we have the monomial, which meant one, it's like one term. You'll hear that word term. A binomial is 2, and it's like 2 terms. So it's 2 monomials added or subtracted together. For example, you can have 3x, that's a monomial, plus 5, which is a constant monomial or constant, and that makes up a binomial. There's 2 terms. So you could have, you could hear it as terms as well. Or another example, 15xy squared, that's a monomial, plus 21z cubed y. I write my z's like that so you can tell the difference between the 2 and the z's. Okay, that is a binomial. There's 2 monomials. Or 21 minus 4y to the 5th. Again, it's being subtracted. 2 monomials being subtracted, binomial. And then we have trinomial, which hopefully you can figure out that tri means 3, so it's 3 monomials added or subtracted together. So we have monomial 1, binomial 2, trinomial 3. So we could have 2x squared minus 5x plus 11, so trinomial. Or 3y plus 3x plus 9, another trinomial. Now, if we look at the monomial negative 3xy squared, negative 3 is the coefficient. Coefficient is the number in front. Okay? It's the coefficient. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about adding like terms. So you can add like terms if they have the same variables. Same variables. Now they have to have the same exponents too. So if it's, y squared, then they both have to have y squared. If it's y squared x, then they both have to have y squared x. Okay, and you can add like terms. You just add the coefficients, which are the numbers in front. Coefficients. Okay, so we gotta see like terms. Which of the following are like terms? So again, we're not looking at the numbers when we look at like terms. We're looking at the variables. So we have x. They both just have x, so that's the same term. So they are like terms. Yes, they are. Which are like terms? Yes, like term. Oh my goodness, it just changed on me. Oh well. Okay, so we have y and y squared. That's different. Y is different from y squared. Now the numbers don't matter, but these are not. So no, they are not like terms. Now we have b squared c, and we have b squared c. That has like that imaginary 1 in front. But they both have b squared c, so they are, yes, like terms. Alrighty. Now, a polynomial is in simplest form, or simplified form, simplified, simplest, either one, when all like terms are added together. So simplifies, you have to add like terms. Okay? Now, if they're not like terms, they don't need to be put together and it will be simplified. So we need to simplify this. So I'm going to I'm actually going to highlight some like terms, okay? So I'm going to look. I have the x squared right here, or x cubed, and there's an x cubed right here. So I need to add these terms together, which actually, believe it or not, they cancel each other out, because negative 6x cubed plus, you take the sign in front of it, okay? That's how you determine it. You take the sign in front. So those actually cancel out. So let me cancel. Now I'm going to highlight my x squared. So it's plus 3x, and it's plus x squared. So that's like a 1. So 3 plus 1 is 4. So we have 4x squared. Okay? The x squared stay the same when we're adding and subtracting. We do not change the like terms. Okay? And then I'm just left with that negative 5, so minus 5. So this would be my simplified answer. Now we're going to talk about degrees. Now the degree of a monomial, in order to find it, you need to add all the exponents of the variables together. Okay, I'll give you some examples in just a second. Now, the degree of a polynomial, they're a little different. Polynomial has more than one term, like binomial, trinomial. And we need to, in order to do that, we need to find the monomial within the polynomial with the highest degree after it has been simplified. Okay? So we're going to do some examples. So the first one is a monomial, okay? And we're going to find the degree. So we have to add the exponents of the variable. So we have 4 plus 2, which is 6. So this is a 6th degree, and we're just going to specifically write monomial just so we remember what this is called. It's a monomial. Okay? Now, we actually have, this is 1, 2, 3 terms, so it's actually a trinomial. It looks simplified, there's no like terms. So I need this one right here has a degree of 2, this monomial. This one has a degree of 3. This one has a degree of 9 because you add them together. So you take the highest one, so it's going to be a 9th degree monomial. Not monomial, sorry, trinomial. Okay, so again, this is a trinomial. Oh, there's some like terms, so you see that? We have this like term, it's a 2x squared, and then minus 2x squared, so those cancel out. So we're actually just left with negative 3y to the 4th, which that means that its degree is the 4th, so that's a 4th degree trinomial. Alrighty, we're going to add these together. So when you add these together, I can rewrite these and kind of put like this, and then instead of and, I'm just going to put plus because that's what an and sign means. And you could distribute the plus, but it's going to keep it all the same. So really, I can take away these parentheses, and I'm just going to be adding the two together. So I need to find like terms. So I'm going to highlight, like terms. Oops. It kind of messed up on me, but it's good. Okay, so I have an x squared y. So I need to see if there's any other x squared y's. Oh, right here. And that has a 1 in front of it, okay? So we have 3x squared y plus 1x squared y. And that gives us, 4x squared y. Now I'm going to look at my next term. I have a xy squared. Okay, I don't have any more of those, so I'm just going to rewrite that one. Plus 4xy squared. Now I'm going to look at my next one. I have a y cubed. I have a y cubed. This one's a minus 2y cubed. This is a plus 3y cubed. So that gives me a positive 1y cubed, but we're going to write that as plus y cubed. And then lastly, I have my numbers. Positive 3 minus 4, which would give me a negative 1. And there we have it. Last problem, this is subtraction. We need to subtract this from this. So we're basically starting with this, and we are subtracting negative a squared minus 5ab plus 4b squared. Now, when you have subtraction, you're going to have to distribute this negative to each term. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and rewrite everything. without the parentheses, because I'm going to distribute 3a squared minus 2ab minus 2b squared minus 7. Now it's a positive a squared, positive 5ab, and a negative 4b squared. So I'm going to do my like terms. So first I'm going to look at my a squared. Oh, I have a positive a squared right here. So 3a squared plus a squared is 4a squared. Again, you're not adding, the like terms stay the same. We're only adding the coefficients. Okay, now ab, and this is a positive 5ab. So minus 2ab plus 5ab, which would give me a positive 3ab. I have negative b squared, or I have b squared and b squared, so that's negative 2b squared minus 4b squared, which is a negative 6b squared. Oops. Negative 6b squared. And lastly, I have my negative 7, so that just stays the same. And there you have it.